Hello everyone, this is Srinivasan Rajendran. Today we are going to discuss a topic called input and output functions. So this is a much important topic if you are step into a C program because how you are passing the input and how you are getting back the output. Okay, so this is known as input and output functions. That's why in the definition we have given has an ability to communicate with the user. User who is writing the program. Okay, so ability to communicate with the user during execution. Okay, which means during the runtime, if you want to communicate anything with the user, for example the user wants to give the input. If the user gives the input, then the output gets printed. So these kind of communications can be done in a C program by using input and output functions. So what is an input? Feeding the data into a program. So which means the operation will perform, it transfers the data from the input device to the memory. As I said earlier, okay, in the previous video we have been discussed what is the address of operator. Okay, so the address of operator which tells you that where the variable is stored, because the variable will be stored in the secondary memory. Okay, so that is what they are saying here, data transfer from the input device to a memory. Okay, and the input device means if you press anything in the keyboard, that value will be stored into the memory. What is an output operation? It is getting the result after execution of the entire program. It tells you the some output of the program, which means the data transfer from the memory, because the operations have been taken from the memory. Okay, and print the result to the output device. Okay, so input output functions, the user give the input, after performing the execution of the program, the user getting the output. So all those operations can be done in a C program using input and output functions. Guys, as of now I have not tell what are the input and output functions. I will tell you later. But if you want to perform, if you want to pass the input, and if you want to get the output, you need a header file. If you include this header file, then the input output functions will work. Okay, so hash include stdio.h. std refers standard, I refers input, and O refers output. It's a library. Okay, this is specifically useful for input and output, because I refers to input, O refers to output, dot h is the extension of the header file. That's why hash include stdio.h. Okay, and input and output functions are two types, or either we can say input output functions, or we can say input output statements. So don't confuse with it is a user defined function or it is a predefined function. This is a statement. Okay, this helps to execute the program. This is a statement. Okay, so that's why we are performing that operations. So what is an formatted input output statement? The meaning is it is printing the value. Okay, it is just print the value, and you can perform some manipulations while printing. I don't want to print the value directly, I want to perform some modifications. So that can be done. I can control the format, in what way I have to print the input, or in what way I have to feed the input, sorry, in what way I have to print the output, in what way I have to give the input. We can formatting options. Okay, we can play around with the input and output statement through formatted. Okay, that's why it is called formatted input and output statement. Normal formatting means what? If you type anything in a Word document, you want to make it as a left aligned or right aligned, some decorations or some manipulations you want to make the text as bold, you want to change the color. These are formatting operations. Likewise, I can format the input and output operations in some other way. I will explain you with an example. Then that time you can clearly define what is unformatted. Unformatted means you cannot have a control. Okay, you don't have any control, but it will just pass the input or it will get the output. That is what unformatted input and output statement. Okay, we'll see with an example. Okay, so before getting to the example, and I said types. Okay, there are two types: formatted functions, unformatted functions. So we have been discussed with the data type. Okay, character, int, float. Okay, double is there, and then sometimes we can use a long int like that. Okay, but don't bother about that. The formatted functions will support character, int, float, and string. Okay, we can use a string also here. The formatted functions, I'll just print the string directly. Okay, and you can have a double also with the same syntax of scanf and printf. See, if you see the formatted function, either it might be a character or int or float or string or double. For input I am using scanf, for output I am using printf. Okay, but I have a one option called control string or format specifier. With that I can play around some formatting operations. I will discuss with you an example. Okay, so these are formatted functions. So all the input can be done with the help of scanf, and all the output will be done with the help of printf. I'll make a separate video to how to pass the input through a scanf statement and how to print the result through output statement. And unformatted functions, it will support only the character and string. Apart from that, we cannot have, for example, if you want to pass the integer in an unformatted function, that is not possible. And under a character, for input it has a three things: get ch, get the character; get che, get the character; and e refers to echo. So I am getting the character and echoing it, which means I will print it again. And get char, this is also a get the character. Okay, there are three different ways. Okay, so get ch, you can press any key from the input device, which means keyboard, it read those character. Get che, again if you feed any input from the character, it will print in the monitor also, output device also, what character I have pressed. That is called echoing the character. And get char, it is used to read and stored. Okay, it will not displayed anywhere. Okay, that's the thing. And output, we can say put the character, which means print the character. And put char, there is no put che, so don't confuse with that. These are unformatted functions to print the character. Okay, either put ch or put char. When you go for a string, either you can go for a get the string by using gets and print the string by using puts. Okay, see, later you can discuss with this each and every input and output functions in detail. But as of now, there are two different two types of input output functions. One is an formatted and another one is an unformatted. Okay, if you don't have any clue about input and output statement, maybe this example might be vague. Okay, but let's see with the programmatic explanation. See here, as I said, stdio.h, I have to obviously give the header file and main function. Okay, I have declared two variables, one is an age, another one is an salary. By using printf statement, in the double quotes I am just printing enter your age and salary. This is a normal statement. But by using scanf statement, I am reading, this is called what to say, access specifier or format specifier or control string. What is this? This percentage d and percentage f. Percentage d, which refers the age is a integer type, that's why I am using percentage d. and percentage f is the salary is a float type, that's why percentage f. Sir, but you said you can format the options. Yes, for age I am giving input as 20, for salary I am giving input as 30.886 because it is a floating point, decimal point number, no, so I can give some input, okay, with a decimal point, so 30.886. But while printing the result, what I am trying to do, age I will print whatever I am getting it, that 20, but salary, the 0.2f, actually percentage f is a access specifier or control string for to print the float number, but I am using 0.2f. After decimal point I have to print only 2 digit, but after decimal point I have a 3 digit, so I can play around the input. I want to print only 2 digit, that's why 0.2f. okay, look at the output 30.89, but what input you have passed, 30.886, but what output I am getting, 30.89. so after decimal point you have a 2 digit, it is round off. So I have a control to format the input and output. Suppose if I am giving 0.3f, okay, and then I'll just print, I will get 0.886 what I have sent here, okay, let make it as 0.4f, but my input I have passed only 3. After the 4th digit it will be appended as 0. So this is what I have a control over the formatting input and output function, that's why it is comes under formatted and input and output. So look at this, the integer, float, string, character, if you are using a input statement as scanf and output statement as a printf, if you have a certain control to format the input and output, then it will become under formatted. And unformatted means I don't have any control, just print the character and print the string, that's why character and string will supported in the unformatted functions, okay. But if you have a confusion with the what is the control string or format specifier, I will make a separate video, because the format specifier will get differ based on the type of the data. What is the type of the data? The data type, okay. So the percentage d is for integer, percentage f is for float. As of now we have seen that, yes, percentage d is refers to a age is a integer type, and percentage f is a float, that is a floating point type. But apart from that, there are so many different types of data type is available in the C program. We have been already discussed, you can go back my previous video and see that data types in C, you can understand it. But what are the control strings or what are the format specifiers specifically for a C programming, I will make a separate video, okay. I hope you like the video. If you want to more information in a C program, please leave a comment what topic I want to make a video. If you mention in the comment, I will make a video and I can make posted in the channel, you guys can learn it, okay. See, my motivation is to learn the C program as much as possible. Thank you so much. Please like my video and subscribe my video, leave the comment on it, and your feedbacks are welcome, so you can pass your feedback through the comment, okay. Thank you all.